Frodo Baggins turned 50 years old the year he left the Shire. 50, but every neighbor who saw him swore he looked 33. The same face he had on the night of Bilbo's party. 17 years earlier, not one wrinkle, not one grey hair. The hobbits of Hobbiton joked that Frodo was well preserved. They had no idea how precisely they had chosen that word. Because something in Bag End was preserving him, the way ice preserves a body. Tonight we are going to open the one chapter of this story everyone skips. The 17 years the ring sat quietly in a drawer, doing nothing, except it was never doing nothing, it was doing three things. Slowly, patiently. And by the time you see the third one, you will understand why Frodo was doomed at Mount Doom before he ever took a single step. Let's begin on the night it all started. With an envelope, September, the year 3001 of the Third Age. Bilbo Baggins vanishes from his own birthday party in a flash of light. Back at Bag End, with Gandalf watching, he does something no bearer had ever done. He gives the ring up. Willingly, it nearly breaks him. He sweats, he snaps, he calls it his precious with a voice that is not his own. But in the end, the ring drops onto the mantelpiece in an envelope, and Bilbo walks out the door lighter than he has felt in 60 years. Now watch what happens next, because this is the moment everyone forgets. Gandalf stares at that small envelope, and the greatest wizard in Middle-earth is afraid to touch it. He tells Frodo to keep it secret, keep it safe, do not use it. And then Gandalf leaves. For years. Think about what has just occurred. A 21-year-old wound in the shape of a hobbit is now alone in a house with the most corrupting object ever forged. No guardian, no warnings beyond a sentence, no idea what is sitting in his drawer. 17 years, the clock starts now, and the first thing the ring does is the most disturbing. It goes silent. Silence sounds harmless. It is the opposite. Remember what this object is. Tolkien tells us the ring is not a tool. It carries a piece of Sauron's own will inside the gold. It wants, it plans. It abandoned Isildur in a river. It abandoned Gollum in a cave. It maneuvered itself hand to hand across 3,000 years. An object like that does not sleep in a drawer for 17 years. So why the silence? Look at the ring's position and you will see it. For the first time in centuries, it is comfortable. It sits in a quiet, wealthy home. Its bearer does not use it, which means it stays hidden from enemies. And far away in the east, its true master is rising again. The ring can feel that. It has no reason to run. It only needs its keeper to stay exactly where he is. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Gandalf thought he was giving Frodo a warning. He was accidentally describing the ring's own strategy. So the silence begins, and under the cover of that silence, the first change creeps in. The one the neighbors could see but never understood. Frodo stops aging. Tolkien states it plainly. At 33, Frodo looked like a young hobbit in his prime. At 50, he still did. The Shire noticed. Some folk called it luck. Others found it faintly disturbing. One more oddity of mad Baggins and his strange heir. But you know what it actually was. You have seen this before. Bilbo at 111, unwrinkled and spry. Gollum at 500, still breathing in the dark. The ring stretches its keepers. And here is the horror hiding inside that gift. Bilbo described the feeling to Gandalf in one of the most chilling lines Tolkien ever wrote. Thin, stretched, like butter scraped over too much bread. The ring does not give you more life. It pins you in place while time flows past. Every year Frodo looked the same on the outside, something on the inside was being pulled taut. And the cruelest part is this. Frodo never wore the ring, not once in 17 years. It worked on him anyway, through a drawer, through an envelope, through mere nearness. Now ask the question that should be keeping you up at night. If it could reach his body without ever touching his skin, what was it doing to his mind? This is the second thing. And Tolkien hides the evidence in plain sight, scattered across a single quiet chapter. As the years pass, a change comes over Frodo. A restlessness. He begins taking long walks, further and further from home. He is seen wandering the borders of the Shire. At night, under the stars, strange dreams start coming to him. mountains he has never seen, and again, the sea. A sea he has never visited, calling from the edge of sleep. He catches himself looking at Bilbo's old maps, wondering about the blank spaces past their edges, and Tolkien writes one sentence about these years that should stop your heart. Frodo began to feel that half of him wished to follow Bilbo. Maybe you read all that as wanderlust, a young heart dreaming of adventure. Now read it as evidence. An object that wants to travel east sits in the house of a hobbit who suddenly, year by year, cannot stop dreaming of leaving. The walks stretch longer, the dreams pull harder. Restlessness is what it feels like from the inside. From the outside, it looks like something slowly turning a key in a lock. The ring was not waiting in that drawer, it was packing. But even that is not the deepest work. The third thing is quieter than the aging and the dreams, and it is the one that decided the fate of the world. Attachment. Watch Frodo's hands through this story. The night Gandalf finally returns, in the spring of 3018, he asks to see the ring for a moment, just to test it in the fire. And Frodo, gentle, generous Frodo, hesitates. He notices the ring has grown heavy in his pocket. He feels a strange reluctance to hand it over. He does it, but Tolkien makes sure we see the pause. Then comes the moment that reveals everything. Gandalf tells him the truth at last. This is the One Ring. The most evil thing in the world is in your parlor. And he suggests it must be dealt with. Frodo's response should shock you more than it does. He snatches it back. His instinct in the very hour he learns what it is to protect it. He even says the fatal words, "It is mine." 17 years earlier, this same object had to nearly break Bilbo to keep him from letting go. It made a different plan for Frodo. No dramatic battles, no whispering greed. Just 17 years of quiet ownership, of a hand slipping into a pocket to check it is still there, of a weight becoming familiar, becoming normal, becoming his. The ring did not seduce Frodo the way it seduced kings. It domesticated him, and a chain you have carried comfortably for 17 years is the one chain you will never believe is a chain. Now put yourself in that parlor, because this is the scene where all three threads knot together. Gandalf tells Frodo the full history, Sauron, the Nine, Gollum screaming 2 words in a dungeon, Shire, Baggins. We told that story in another video, and it connects directly to this room, because those 2 words mean the silence is over. The ring's quiet years have ended, its master knows where to look, and here Gandalf does something that looks small and is enormous. He refuses to take the ring. Frodo offers it, freely. The mightiest being in the room could end the problem by putting the envelope in his own pocket, and Gandalf recoils as if Frodo had offered him a live coal. "Do not tempt me," he says. "Understand what the wizard is admitting." 17 years ago, he was afraid to touch it for a moment. He has spent those years learning exactly what it is. And his conclusion is that he, Gandalf the Grey, could not carry it across a room safely. Then he looks at the small hobbit in front of him, a hobbit who has slept beside it for 17 years, and tells him he must carry it across the world. People call Frodo's quest brave, and it is. But tonight you can see the darker truth underneath. By the spring of 3018, there was no one else. The ring had already chosen its keeper. 17 years of quiet fusion had made Frodo the only being who could carry it, and the one being who could never, ever give it up. Follow that truth down the road, and every strange moment of the journey snaps into focus. Why does the ring feel heavier with every mile toward Mordor? Because weight is what its grip feels like, and the grip started in a drawer in Bag End. Why does Frodo, on Amon Hen, come within one breath of being found by the eye? Because 17 years of nearness left a channel between him and the ring that strangers like Boromir never had. Why does he alone hear it whisper? Why does he flinch when Sam offers to share the load, snarling at his dearest friend like a cornered animal? You have heard that tone before, in a cave, under a mountain, from a creature we spent 3 videos understanding. By the final stretch, Tolkien shows us Frodo crawling, unable to remember the taste of food or the sound of water. He says there is nothing left between him and the Wheel of Fire. 17 years of preservation ending in a soul scraped down to one burning point, And then comes the crack of doom, the moment readers have argued about for 70 years. Frodo stands at the fire, and he does not throw the ring in. He claims it. It is mine. The same 3 words from the parlor 17 years later, at the one place in the world they could end everything. People call this Frodo's failure. Tonight, call it what it truly was. The ring's oldest plan arriving on schedule. It never needed to defeat Frodo at the mountain. It defeated him in Bag End, one silent year at a time, before he even knew there was a war. So why did the world survive? Not because the plan failed, because 2 things existed outside the plan. The first you already know. Gollum, the rival claimant, forged by his own centuries with the ring, arriving at the fire with a claim older than Frodo's. The ring spent 17 years binding one keeper. It spent 500 binding another. And at the mountain, its 2 masterpieces collided. That story has its own video, and it ends in the fire. But the second thing is quieter, and it belongs to this story alone. Mercy. Frodo's mercy toward Gollum on the road, sparing him, defending him, pitying him. Where did that mercy come from? Frodo himself tells us, because by then he understood the creature. He knew what it was to carry the thing, to love the thing that is killing you. 17 years of slow poisoning gave Frodo the one gift the ring never intended: compassion for its other victim. The corruption created the mercy. The mercy kept Gollum alive. And Gollum took the ring into the fire. Read that chain again slowly. The ring's 17 years of secret work produced the exact conditions of its own destruction. Tolkien built his entire world on this shape. Evil, given enough time, digs its own grave. It just needs someone humble enough to stand at the edge. But Tolkien was too honest to end the story there, and this is the part that stays with you. The ring went into the fire. Frodo's 17 years did not. He goes home to the Shire, the hero of the age, and he cannot land. Every year, on the anniversary of his wounds, he falls ill. He tells Sam he is wounded in a way that will never really heal. The stretching, the thinning, the fading, none of it reversed when the gold melted. The neighbors who once joked about how young he looked now barely see him at all. And in the end, Frodo does the thing his dreams had been whispering for 17 years. He goes to the sea. He boards the white ship with Bilbo and the ring-bearers, and leaves Middle-earth forever to find healing in the West if healing exists at all. Here is the thought Tolkien leaves under your skin. The dreams of the sea began in the quiet years. While the ring sat in its drawer, it showed him the leaving before he ever knew there was a reason to leave. Some readers find that beautiful. I find it terrifying, because it means the ring's 17 years wrote both halves of Frodo's fate, the road out, and the fact that no road would ever truly lead him home. Soon the world returns to those 17 years. The Hunt for Gollum arrives in theaters in December 2027. Andy Serkis directing, Peter Jackson producing. Elijah Wood confirmed to return as Frodo, and the film is set inside this exact window, after the party, before the journey. The quiet years on screen at last, which means somewhere in that movie there may be a shot of Bag End, a drawer, an envelope, a young-looking hobbit who has not aged a day. Watch for it, because now you know that shot would not be a peaceful one. It would be a picture of the slowest attack in Middle-earth history already underway. If this changed how you see Frodo, tell me in the comments. One word is enough. And the other side of this story, the creature the ring shaped for 500 years before it ever met Frodo, is on your screen right now. Because the ring worked on Frodo for 17 years, it worked on Gollum for 5 centuries, and at the end of all things, it needed both of them. One to carry it to the fire, and one to fall in.